So I'm Wahab, Ali, Wesley, Rigo, and Adrian. And we're here going to present to you the legacy projects, the AUV Naomi.
Awesome. So this project is based on a yearly competition that is run at the Transdeck in San Diego. Okay, so since it's a yearly based competition, they like to have a theme every year. This year they were doing a zombie based theme. So the goal for this one is to start, go under the gates of the undead, go around the marker, and then go back to the starting point. So for the pre-qualifying competition, it is more object-based. You're gonna pull the levers, drop down a barrier, and then you're able to shoot a torpedo through the designated area. So for the final part of the competition is mostly everything put together. So you grab objects, place them in their designated location, based on object detection, or using the finger.
The list of requirements for the underwater submarine is to be able to recognize signals that are either sent from fingers to do specific tasks based on the frequency of the signal, being able to map the surrounding and create a geometrical map of the field so that it can stay balanced all the time. It has to be able to be slightly negative buoyant with a limited height, width, and weight for the competition, and be able to process all the data at high speeds and be able to react in less than 0.5 seconds.
For our inspiration, we as a group do feel that this project is one of the most important in the continuing engineering department. We do feel that through this competition that we could get a good notoriety for the school. This competition brings about a lot of different schools, probably the best minds in computer engineering and other fields. We felt like automation moving forward is going to be key in future technology. So we thought that working on the AUV would be would be very beneficial for us. Our key motivation behind this all was that we heard about a few children that were trapped in a cave underwater. So the rescue team was trying to figure out a way how to get in and to avoid any obstruction so that you get the children out of there as quickly as they can. So they deployed a autonomous submarine which was able to guide the path, map out obstructions, and then give feedback to the rescue team to tell them what's the quickest way to get in and get out without getting in any sorts of trouble. Also, a lot of Russian search and rescue teams, if let's say a plane falls over sea, they release a bunch of different autonomous submarines. So what these do is they go out for miles and miles and they start collecting data, and then if they find debris, they ping back the team, and then they're able to, they fly out another a search and rescue team there, and then they grab all the debris, and now they're able to kind of piece together what happened.
So the problems that we encountered was that we had we using the Jetson TX2 as our main brain, and unfortunately it died on us in the second semester, and plus the Arduino and a controller for the thrusters. We had to replace those. We switched to many platforms, but none of them were as quick and fast and efficient as Jetson TX2. And we had a shipping problem as well for the hydrophone due to its rarity and high cost. And we got unfortunately scammed from a vendor in China, and we couldn't obtain the hydrophone. The design problems that we had when we put the submarine for the first time in water, we saw that it would float and it wouldn't go submerge because of the suspended air inside the tube, and we had to calculate the added weight for it to slightly be negative buoyant. And the design goal for the project was that to build an autonomous submarine that is capable of listening to the surrounding and following the sound, as well as being able to follow set for a path while avoiding obstacles, and we had a weight limit of 84.9 pounds for the competition, and we could achieve an incredible weight of 83.1. So we're below the weight limit, and to be below the weight limit is good for us because it can give our submarine to maneuver better, and also we get bonus points in the competition.
So that's a demo.
That's the demo of being underwater. So it's right now detecting blue and black colors and also walls to avoid them to crash into. Right now there's only 4 thrusters working. The both on top, they're not working because it's not submerged in water. And this is it's underwater when it's submerged. It was hard filming this underwater, sorry. And here's a demo of the stereo cameras generating point clouds and generating map through those cameras, and plus the IMU right here. If you have that on here. That's the IMU moving around. And that's the generated map up there. That's the generated map, so it's detecting objects and carrying the geometry map.
Okay. So we're going to talk about some of the items we have to purchase here. So the total purchase price was $1,200. One of the most expensive items is the hydrophone, which is almost $600. But we were not able to push it due to budget and rarity. It was not available in all different markets. So some of the item is the power distributor inside with the fuse, so we make sure that the component is still good shape even if something went wrong. And we got the Jetson, which is there, that is the GPU that processes all the different data. We got also additional battery and a custom design for the chassis.
And that's the old chassis from last year. It was too big for a competition. That's why we decided to change it. And the resultant discussions, our first water test was successful after we calculated the weight that we needed for the submarine to submerge. And our accomplishments were this project needed expertise in mechanical physics because of the AUV is going to be underwater, and we needed to be balanced on and underwater as well. And we needed right amount of thrust for each thrusters. There are a total of 6 thrusters. We needed the right amount of thrust so it's moving in balance. And we are generating point clouds for mapping and geometry of the AUV through cameras and IMU. And the result was perception through cameras and IMU and a hydrophone, decision making, path planning, trajectory sampling, and deep learning, and actuation throttle for thrusters in 1 degree arm, which is located at the right side of the AUV to grab stuff. waterproof arm. It's very costly, but we managed to get it and install it. Alright.
Overall, with the progress, we feel pretty happy with it. Because we were looking at other teams, a lot of other schools have about 10 members and their funding is significantly more than ours. But we do feel like we were able to, within a year, with a given group and given budget, we were able to make some big strides. Like as you can see, we went from the bolt chassis, which we thought was very inefficient. It's all made from PVC piping, and then we made it into this smaller chassis, which was custom made. We do feel our overall performance is a lot better. We can maneuver the AUV a lot better. We now detect objects through the cameras, and now with the cameras, we can map out paths and with the IMU, and then combine that into the geometry of the AUV. As we were showing with the arm, we could grab stuff, mainly like water bottles. We were able to crush water bottles with it, and also we were able to implement some safety features. So we were able to do a fuse power source and then have a leak sensor. So just in case, if let's say water were to breach in somehow, we have a leak sensor that'll just basically act as a kill switch.
Alright, any questions?
Questions for the team?
What's the net weight of this?
Net weight is 83.1 pounds. Without the weight, with the weight that we calculated and put it on there, if you wanna test it. Right now, the weight is not on there, so we can move it around easily.
What is the buoyant force?
I'm sorry?
Buoyant force.
The amount that we needed to push it down was about 25 kilograms. We didn't measure the accurate buoyant force on it, unfortunately, but amount-wise, for pounds and kilograms, we figure out that it's 20 kilograms to submerge is slightly negative point. Any other questions?
Is it uniformly distributed or is it?
Yes, 50-50.
Okay.
That's the line right here. We 3D printed right here, and we put some silicone on it, so it's showing how much the tube needs to be slided forward and backwards, so it's perfectly balanced. And we had to calculate the weight inside it because their batteries weighted over 2-3 kilograms. We had to balance those as well. So it's 50-50. Alright, thank you.